From the Oklahoma State Capitol, I'm Dave Morris alongside my colleague Ben Felder from the Oklahoman. And Ben, it's organizational day here at the Capitol as we head towards the 57th legislative session. But first up, organizational day, what does that mean?
Yeah, well, the regular session kind of officially gets kicked off in early February. The time we'll start hearing bills. They'll move their committee and floor votes. But today is kind of a chance to officially appoint leadership. So House Speaker Charles McCall, Senate President Pro Tem Greg Treat were officially elected by their caucus along party lines. But Republican majorities in both the House and Senate have elected their leadership. McCall remains Speaker. This will be a new position for Treat, his first time to lead the Senate. So they make that kind of official. They also will set new rules for the legislative session that's actually going on right now. Democrats are debating with Republicans about those rules, but once again, wide majorities for the Republicans in both chambers, so the Republicans get what they want. And this is also a chance for new lawmakers to come up to the Capitol. They've been here before, but get settled in their new offices. Office assignments, that process has been taking place for the last couple of weeks. They have their offices, they're going to get settled, and really kind of the soft opening, if you will, to the start of the session in February.
You spoke to several people today, and you've heard from several people today. What have you heard? Who have you spoken to?
Yeah, well, House Speaker McCall gave an address to the House today, and it was kind of a tease to his agenda. Nothing, real earth-shattering that came out.
We have made great progress over the past year, increasing teacher pay and funding for our schools, but our work is not done. We must continue to invest, increase teacher pay, and make Oklahoma school children the top priority. My goal is to make Oklahoma's teachers first in the region for pay.
He did say that he wanted an investment in public education to be first and foremost this year. The budget is expected to be bigger by more than $500 million this year. Education has been something that lawmakers on both sides of the aisles have targeted to see an increase. McCall also said that a priority for him is another teacher pay raise. That's a priority for Governor-elect Kevin Stitt as he prepares to take office. Democrats want more money in the classroom. And so there's some question about, well, how much money can they put in the classroom if they're putting that towards teacher pay raise? The walkout that you and I remember very well, spending 2 weeks in this building, teachers had got the pay raise but said that they wanted more money in the classroom. So there may be some bickering over that a little bit, but I expect the legislature to pass a teacher pay raise this year and to see more money go into the education budget. How much, I'm not sure. McCall also said that he wanted a criminal justice reform to be a major point of focus for the legislature this year. Democrats applauded that. It's the only standing ovation they gave during McCall's address. And I talked with Minority Leader Emily Virgin, who said, hey, we love that. It's going to take some money, though, as well. And I think Democrats are going to be along the way saying, hey, where's the money? Where's the money? There is some more money coming into the state budget. Democrats plan to try to advocate for some more revenue raising measures, more taxes. But once again, Republicans are running the show this year. Democrats probably aren't going to get their way on that.
One last point on the money, does that make a difference? In other words, would this session be perhaps less contentious than we've seen recently because there isn't a shortfall to deal with?
Yes, that's a big expectation. I mean, over the last few years, we've seen, budget crisis after budget crisis, cuts being made. It's a lot harder to make cuts than it is to dole out money, although it's no easy task either because every agency wants a reinvestment to make up for the cuts that they've seen. That $500 million is going to go pretty quick, and that's if the economy, stays on track. We've seen oil prices dip in recent months, and so everyone's kind of hoping that remains the case. But there is going to be some more money to hand out, so it does make things a little easier. Then the big task becomes, who do you give that money to? But yes, there is an expectation that this is going to be a less chaotic session, that this is going to be a session focused more on policy. Governor-elect Stitt has a lot of reform measures that he would like to incorporate, chiefly his ability to hire and fire agency heads. Republican leaders in the House and the Senate appear right now willing to give him that. They also want to incorporate some other accountability reform measures when it comes to agency budgets. And so that's kind of the focus this year for legislative leaders coming in here, is saying, hey, let's have a little bit more room to breathe. Let's focus on policy, and maybe a lot of the controversy that we saw over the last few years, we won't see as much. But hey, those debates, those fights are going to come. I kind of feel like we're in this honeymoon period right now. That'll quickly go away. But yes, I'm expecting a less contentious session this year. The bar is pretty high for that, or low for that, because, as we've already mentioned, 2-week teacher walkout last year, multiple special sessions called to try to fix the budget, fights over tax increases. We don't expect to see any of those things this year.
if you do come out to the People's House, as it says down below, here at the state capitol, you'll see, and perhaps you can hear, ongoing construction around the Capitol building. However, you'll also notice some scaffolding put up on the ground floor outside the south steps of the Capitol, as on Monday, Governor-elect Stitt becomes the next governor of Oklahoma.
Yeah, so his inauguration is next Monday, but he's kind of kicking off a slate of inaugural activities this week, beginning Thursday down in Lawton, kind of a chance for the governor-elect to pay homage to rural Oklahoma, which really gave him a wide margin of support during the general election. Over the weekend, he's going to be in his hometown of Tulsa. There's a family festival. There is a ball in Tulsa on Saturday evening, and then on Monday, the big show. He'll take the oath of office. He'll give his inaugural address. Talking with members of his team, I'm expecting that to really, as they always are, focus on the future, but really trying to, point to his administration as being one that can bring pride back to Oklahoma. You've heard Governor-elect Stitt during the campaign and since his election talk about being a top 10 state, and I think one of the things is it pays homage to the fact, or it addresses the fact that Oklahoma is a state that is commonly at the bottom of a lot of lists, whether we're talking about education, healthcare, or quality of life rankings. So I think we're going to hear the governor, when he becomes a governor in his inaugural address next Monday, really try to plant the image in Oklahomans' minds that we can create a state that we can be proud of and we can be at the top of the list. When the rubber meets the road, that's where we'll have to find out how he plans to go about that. But yes, so Monday the inauguration, the big inaugural ball in Oklahoma City Monday evening, and then there'll be a prayer service the following day on Tuesday when he's governor.
And on newsok.com, you can follow along, play along at home if you like. We will have the inauguration ceremonies live on newsok.com Monday morning, as well as various festivities. Yeah. And on Thursday night, myself, Justin Wingerter will be down in Lawton for those festivities, including a Political State podcast. So a couple of orders of business at this point. Ben hosts the Political State podcast that you can follow along every Friday on newsok.com. You can download it from wherever you get your podcasts. And then also one thing you've launched this week is a relaunch of the Morning Bell when you were covering all things education, which was really nice for the teacher walkout. Now it's on the political side of things.
Yeah, my main focus right now is politics here in Oklahoma, and so the launch of a new a free newsletter into your email inbox, just kind of a roundup of political news, links to stories from us and other outlets, but also just some tidbits and stuff like that. If you are a Oklahoma Politico, an insider, I think this will be an enjoyable read every morning. But if you're not, if you're just kind of casual observer of Oklahoma politics, maybe a way to catch up with the news of the day coming from the state capitol, also the Oklahoma delegation in Washington, D.C., and city and county political matters from across the state as well.
Good stuff. So you can find that online at newsok.com, as well as follow this guy's coverage and all of our colleagues at the Oklahoman. Pick up a copy every day or go online to News OK. Ben, thanks for your help.
Yeah, you bet.